Hello, Martha is Dead is the game I've been waiting for such a long time. I had it in my wish list for a couple of months. Let's see what it has. Language, audio, of course it's English. Okay, English, subtitles. Okay. So far, so good. It's a horror game, by the way. Let's check it out. Left is barely. The story of Martha is Dead and its featured characters are a work of fiction. The game contains potentially uncomfortable scenes and covers topics that may distress some players. The game is recommended for an adult audience and carries the appropriate age rating. As an adult narrative drama, the game uses artistic interpretations that can be visually unsettling and may cause discomfort. It explores the complexities of the human mind, psychological trauma, and self-harm. The game is not recommended for players who may find depictions of mature scenes containing blood, dismemberment, disfigurement of human bodies, and self-harm disturbing. Okay, I'm not struggling.
Ciao, I'm Julia Kay. I'm glad you are here. Nobody has visited me in ages. It's been years now. I must tell you my story, but I don't know where to begin. There is so much that... I should start from my childhood, but my memories of these times are vague. I only remember the summer of 1929, when they sent me off to stay with my nanny.
New chapter, the legend. Summer
Nanny,
1929.
will you tell me the story of the White Lady?
No, little sparrow. Not tonight. A fog is coming, see?
Yes. I know that when it's foggy, the lady kills young women. But why is she so evil?
Because she has no life.
Julia, pain and suffering can make us do evil things, even if we're not actually bad.
Giving her
Just like
excuses for
soldiers have to
killing
kill
people.
other soldiers. I like the lady, I've decided, Nanny. She must be in so much pain.
Tala.
The poor dear. She still scares me a little, though. Soon I'll be a young woman, and she could kill me. Does she kill those who love her?
Of course not.
That makes me feel better because I love her. But what about Martha? Would she be in danger?
Your sister is with your mother, so do not worry.
Do you miss them?
No. I mean, yes, I miss Martha a little, but I love spending time with you.
Now, go to sleep, little sparrow. It's getting late.
Okay, Nanny. I'll go to sleep and dream of the lady. Was she beautiful?
She was beautiful. Yes, very much so.
Then she'll be beautiful in my dreams. And will I be beautiful just like her?
You'll be even more beautiful.
Listen, Nanny. Since the lady won't harm me because I love her, and since you're not a young woman, could you tell me her story? Even if it's foggy outside. Please. Oh, please.
Oh, please.
Then I'll sleep. I promise.
Oh, all right. You always get your own way.
I loved Nanny and I loved that story. Every time I heard it, it sounded like a new and more mesmerizing tale. Every night I would ask her to tell me about it, even though it scared me. Even now I can remember every single day of that time and how happy I was.
Why were you with the nanny? Okay, I just gotta raise the volume from my PC. Okay. Okay.
According to an ancient legend, the lakes of the area are haunted by the spirit of a young woman who was killed by the man she loved. She was expecting a lover's stroll by the lake, gazing out at the old tree growing on the lake's island. So much hope and desire, but death, not love, was awaiting her.
Speak up.
Oh, the poor dear. That's not fair.
Life isn't fair, Poppet, but that's the way it is. And we must learn to deal with it.
Okay, I'll try. But it makes me so mad.
Keep on reading, Nanny. She
In
drowned?
despair, the man confessed he had killed her out of jealousy. So he was hanged on the small island, in the middle of the very same lake where he had killed the girl.
What kind of story are you telling to this girl?
They searched everywhere, but the girl's body was never found. Since then, her spirit, known as the White Lady, has
She's
been
underwater,
imprisoned in
no?
the depths of the
Like
lake.
this is
She grieves eternally
under sea
for
level
the
with the
loss
sun
of
rays.
the man she loved.
That's why they didn't find her body for sure.
When fog arises, the White Lady is known to leave the
Uh-huh.
waters of the lake and roam the woods, looking for her long-lost love.
In vain.
Within the fog of dawn, hunters have claimed to hear the wailing of a woman in the distance.
Oh no.
I'm a little scared of this story, even though I like the lady.
Should I stop reading, my little sparrow?
Of course
No,
not.
Nanny. Daddy always tells me that fear must be faced. Go ahead.
Okay, honey. Every time the sad memory of the night she perished stirs in her soul, she takes the life of a young woman by slaying such a life in its youth. Even just for an instant, the lady feels free from the burden of her pain.
Why not kill the man?
Good night, Nanny.
Good night, my love.
Good night, my ass, after such a story. I would have nightmares after the story.
I spent almost 3 years with the nanny, but when I came home, I quickly forgot how to be happy. My memories did not return until 15 years later, in 1944, when I stayed in that house. I enjoyed setting up cameras in the woods by the lake. My father created a device that attached to the cameras. It would make them take pictures at set intervals. I was trying to photograph animals, or whatever else was in that damned place.
Oh no, we're in the forest with a lake. To interact, okay.
Reel off the film. Open the camera.
Nice.
Remove the old roll of film. Put the new film in. Close the camera. Load the film.
Okay.
Activate the timer. Almost ready. Now to bring the image into focus.
That's how cameras worked in 1944.
There's something floating on the surface of the water.
I don't see
If I
anything.
frame it better, I might be able to see what it is.
Use to move the lens. Is it this thing?
What? Is that a person? I must help them.
Whoa.
I was
What happened?
horrified at the idea that someone might have drowned in my lake. The lake was my world, where I would spend entire days daydreaming. I would lose myself in my thoughts, but that was a rude awakening. So terrible.
Okay, the audio in this game is fucked up.
I instantly noticed that the person was wearing one of my dresses. I was scared. I dragged that lifeless body as best as I could to the shore, trying not to drown myself. Only when I lifted her in my arms did I realize who she was. It was my sister, my twin, a part of me, dead. Impossible to comprehend. I was desperate. I didn't know what to do or to think.
Shit.
I have to stay calm.
Oh my god.
Martha is not dead. It's not possible. It's not true. There's no need to worry. Everything is fine. Everything will be fine. I have to stay calm.
What do I do?
Martha is not dead. Martha, February 26th, 1923.
I don't like how it gets blurry.
Is everything okay?
Are you hurt?
What are you doing?
Go, Eric, run!
My parents ran towards me. My mother hugged me. She, who detested me, was now cuddling me. Her
Why
warmth
did she
filled me
detest
with
you?
life, and the pain became bearable. I felt protected. Martha, are you okay? She asked me, speaking slowly in order to let me read her lips. She thought I was deaf. She thought I was Martha. I didn't want the moment to fade, so I meekly nodded my head. I didn't realize I had done something that couldn't be undone.
Shit.
I would have to pretend to be Martha. Forever.
Wow. Okay. The body. One day after Martha's death, 10:30 p.m. Sign of
O
the
Lord, who
cross.
gives life to the dying, let your sacrifice of love be offered for Martha's soul. Into your hands I also entrust my spirit, so that I may be reunited with her in perpetual light, to never suffer the desolation of purgatory. Please grant her eternal rest, O Lord, and may eternal light shine upon her.
Eerie, did you remember to light the candles in the hall? People will be here soon.
Mummy always finds something for everyone to do.
Hints can be disabled within the game settings. Let me just check the video. I can disable the blur. Texture. Oh god, motion blur, please off, please off. Maybe I'll put it down too high. Okay. And sensitivity. Much better, okay.
Books, books, and more books. In our villa there must be 10 times more than even here.
Is that Dad? He's drunk.
These hunting rifles are not Daddy's. He never went hunting. Nanny must have left them here. Daddy's oboe. We were preparing a really nice duet together. On the rare occasions he's at home, that is.
What is this? What is this?
Daddy must be devastated. He loves me. I messed up and now I have to watch him suffer my death. I can at least light the candles and let him find some comfort in sleep.
I don't know what I'm holding, guys. It's a lighter.
A telegraph box. I know how to use it. Daddy taught me. There's no reason to use the phone right now. Mummy and Daddy. They are the epitome of wealth and elegance. But pain pays no heed to money and style. The only way people could tell Martha and me apart was by dressing differently. Even Mother couldn't tell us apart. This painter was a friend of Grandpa's. I always loved his paintings. As a child, I used to look at them for hours. Daddy's canes. They are so beautiful, but I can't say why, but they have always scared me.
You're right, my friend. You have every right to be scared of this.
When you're done, can you come and get the flowers, please? Or send Martha if you like.
Okay.
Never a moment's peace. Even at a time like this. She can't sit still for a second.
Collect the flowers from Mother before she gets angry. Okay. Just wait, I'm trying to explore here.
I don't need that right now.
Okay. Anything else? No, let's go. What do I
Everything
do with
always
them?
has to be perfect with her.
Parla Londra. Trasmettiamo alcuni messaggi speciali. Felice non è felice. E c'è stata la pioggia. La mia barba l'alba è bionda. Parla Londra. Abbiamo trasmesso alcuni messaggi speciali.
Where do I put them?
What's happening? Who closed the door?
Erich, wake up. Do you think it's appropriate to sleep here? Of all places?
What? Yes. I must have fallen asleep.
Hello?
What are they talking about?
You can't stay here forever. Why don't you go to bed?
No. I want to stay with my daughter.
Your daughter? Your daughter? You have another daughter, you know. The one who's still alive. Remember?
What are you talking about, Irena? Julia is dead. What kind of comment is that? How can you?
You should be thinking about Martha. Julia harmed Martha. You know that, right? And as if that were not enough, she has now also abandoned her.
It's the same old story. Everything is always
I feel bad
Julia's
for her.
fault, isn't it? Her fault for Martha being deaf and for you being infertile. Do you think it's the right time for this? Julia is dead, Irena. Dead. Someone killed her. Do you realize that?
Of course I realize. I get it. Do you think I'm stupid? No one understands it better than me. She always brought problems. Only problems. It would have been better if she hadn't been born at all. You're crazy.
I'm the crazy one? Me?
Oh my god. What a toxic family.
They have done this to get at me, yes. Your death is all my fault. All I could ever do for you was hurt you, Julia. My poor, sweet, crazy girl. What will I do without you? What will life be like now? All the time I didn't spend with you. But now I'm home. We can go fishing together. We can take pictures of butterflies. No. We can't do anything together anymore, can we? Nothing. I miss you, Julia. I miss you.
While American bombings continue to devastate the peaceful towns within the Elsa Valley, we have heard some tragic news from the area of La Ramola. The young daughter of German Army General Erich K. was murdered near her home. What possible reason could there have been behind such a cowardly act? This is what the Carabinieri, who immediately intervened, hope to find out.
Mother didn't seem to suffer from the situation. All she cared about was that my death was so painful for Martha. But not having me around anymore must have been a great relief to her. At the end of the day, it was better for everyone that it was me who died. And it was better for me too that people thought that. But the guilt began to consume me. That's when I started having horrible nightmares.
What am I doing? No. Martha has lost her life. No, Martha has lost her soul.
Martha has lost her soul. Martha has lost her soul. Martha has lost her soul. Martha has lost her soul. Martha has lost her soul. Martha has lost her soul.
This really feels like a real nightmare, you know, like the ones I would have. Oh, okay. I stole her identity.
I stole her identity. I stole her identity. I stole her identity. I stole her identity. I stole her identity. I stole her identity. I stole her identity. I stole her identity. I stole her identity. I stole her identity.
What's happening? What? You guys, I don't know why I'm doing this. There is no other option. Please don't do this, I'm scared. What do I do? Okay. The hell is this?
It was just a dream. A horrible dream.
Okay.
That horrendous woman and the face of my sister. I wish all of this was a dream and my sister is just sleeping in her bed. Instead, her bed is empty and this is reality.
Okay. I think I'm gonna end this episode over here. What I know so far is I'm Julia. My sister is Martha. She's deaf. She died. I lied to everyone around me and told them it was Julia who died and that I'm Martha. And now I have to pretend that I'm deaf for the rest of my life. Okay, I don't know where this is going, but we'll find out in the next episode. So please stay tuned and don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. See you.